Let us take a look at another option that Burpsuite gives us, which is Intruder. Now, you can consider Intruder as something made for brute force attacks. The definition behind it is that it allows us to change anything in the HTTP request and forward it, but it also allows us to change certain parts of HTTP requests by reading stuff from a list. Now, it might sound confusing, but let me show you what I mean. Make sure that intercept is turned off, make sure that you have the OWASP virtual machine started, and let's visit our DVWA login page. It will lead us to this page, and we should be able to find it under the target tab and right here. So here it is. As we can see, this is the GET request that searched for /dvwa/login.php, which is the exact link right here. Now, we can send this request straight from here to the intruder by right-clicking on it and clicking Send to Intruder. And as usual, you will see this Intruder tab light up. It will become orange. Go to it, and this is pretty much all we get. Now, it might seem nothing at the beginning, but we do have 4 different tabs for this request. So once we switch to the Positions tab, here we can see our HTTP request. Now, you will see some of the things here already light up, and these are the things that we do want to change because they might be important for us, which in this case is correct since these are cookie values, and in some attacks we might want to change the cookie value. But let's go with a different HTTP request. Let's go with an HTTP request where we try to log in. So let's go test and test, which is incorrect login. We will get the login failed error, and now let's try to find that request right here. It will be a post request, so you can already filter it out since all of these other requests are GET request, and here is the only post request. And down here we can see that it does contain our username and password. So we can either go here on Actions and send it to Intruder, or we can just right click here and send it to Intruder. And once we visit the Intruder, we will have another tab opened up, and if we go to the Positions, here is our HTTP login request. Now you will see that these options as well are now printed in green, because as I mentioned, Burpsuite recognizes them as something that could be important for us. Now, what I usually like to do is I like to clear out all of these other options, and this will remove any green print that Burpsuite gives by default. Now we have something called payload positions, and as you can see, there is this attack type option that we can choose from. If we click on this arrow, we will get 4 different attack types. Now, to read more about these attack types, what I advise you to do is click on this question mark, and this question mark will open up a page that gives you all the detailed information about these attack types as well as what you can do with the intruder. If we scroll all the way down, it also gives you the explanation for Add, Clear and Auto button, which are the buttons right here on the right side. And under the attack type, we can read about each and every attack type that we want. For example, the sniper attack type uses only a single set of payloads. It targets each payload position in turn and places each payload into that position in turn. Now, in other words, this simply means that with sniper attack type, we can only select one word right here that we want to change. For example, let's say that we want to brute force this account, but we do know username and we don't know password. We would select the password field and we will use the sniper attack in order to brute force the password field. You have some other options that you can use. Battering ram, this uses a single set of payloads. Now, you can read about all of these if you like. For example, cluster bomb is an option that you would use if you want to brute force both username and password, since as it says right here, this uses multiple payload sets, which means you can select, for example, password and username. And then you can brute force both of them at the same time. Now, let me show you what I mean. For example, let's say that we do know the username, which is admin, but we don't know the password, and we just set it to be test. What we would want to do in order to get into this account is we would want to select this test and click on Add. And you will see that it will become green. Once we do that, we told the Burpsuite that we're going to try to brute force this word right here. Then we can go to Payloads, and under the Payloads, in this window right here, we want to load our list. Now you can either add list by clicking on this load button and then navigating through your file system and trying to find a txt list that you want to use. Or you can add some random words right here, for example, test123, test1234, 12345, let's say root, and let's also add the correct password, just so we can show you that it does work. And let's go password and password 123. Now, let's say that this is our list that we want to use. Once we select it right here, we can click on this Start Attack. It will give us this error, which we want to click on OK, and it will start our attack. And what Intruder will do is it will send an HTTP request with changed password, and it will change password with these items that we specified in our list. It will go for each password and it will perform the request. And we can see that we got status 302, which, if you remember, it does redirect us after we send this request. But what you can do is you can, for example, select the incorrect password. Now, in this case, we do know what incorrect and what correct password is, so we can just select the incorrect one, and we can right-click on it and click on Request in Browser. Or we can also choose Show Response in Browser. If we click on that, it will give us a link that we want to copy. We can copy that link, go right here and paste it. We get login failed printed a couple of times, and we do get correct login right here. Now, this is a bug because we only requested one password, but it does give us that one of these 8 passwords from our list did work and we did manage to log in. Since we already know which one it is, let's go to this option, select the correct password, which is admin, and show response in browser, copy the link. We can close this for now and we can go to that link. And here it is. Once we selected the HTTP request where the password was admin, now it logs us in because that was the correct password. How awesome is that? So we performed a small brute force attack right here. Now, this is not that practical, and we're going to talk about that more once we get to the brute forcing part of the course. For now on, we just took a look at a very simple brute force attack. Now, we're going to take a look at how we can deal with the problem once it redirects, because we don't really want to go and visit every single request for every single password just to see whether we managed to log in or no. We want another way that we can check out which password is correct much faster, right? Well, we will talk about that in the brute force part of the course. For now on, we checked out the option called Intruder, and there are many other options that Burpsuite allows us to use. However, we're going to check most of them out throughout the course. We just covered the basics of Burpsuite right now so we can get familiar with it. And if there is something that you didn't quite get or didn't quite understand, don't worry, we will practice it a lot throughout the course. For now on, it's just important that you do know how to navigate through Burpsuite, you do know what target tab is, you do know what proxy tab is, you do know how to intercept certain requests and how to remove the intercept. All of that is important. However, more advanced stuff we're going to cover throughout the course. Now we are fully ready, and in the next lecture, we're going to start off with our first vulnerability, which will be HTML injection. See you there.